Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hypergamous Journey. My name is Denise. At this channel, we give dating advice for women 55 and older who would like to marry or partner with someone, a man of a higher social status. So I'm dating, and right now I just have one person and a potential. My last video, I talked about being matched with a 63-year-old African-American man, and we go on a date next week. And the company I'm using is It's Just Lunch. So this got me thinking about how we communicate today. Back in the day when I was highly sought after, men called or guys called and chatted and asked you out on a date. So now, thanks to Apple and Samsung with the phones and all of this, it's easier for men and women to communicate to multiple people at once, sort of, by copying and pasting text messages. So since I'm being highly pursued by one gentleman in particular, it reminded me of how things used to go back in the day. And I thought, well, if he's doing old school dating by calling a couple of times a day and checking in with me, there are men out there who still do that if they really want to get you, if they really want to make a good impression, if they really feel like you will enhance their life. And of course, you have to determine if he will enhance yours, but let's just say you don't know if he's going to enhance your life, but he knows that you will enhance his. So he's pursuing you. He's calling, he's asking for dates, he's checking in with you to determine if you're okay. And we're looking for men who have the resources to make our financial situation a little bit lighter. Some people call it gold digging, call it what you want. But we are single and we've gotten to this place where we're pretty settled. So we want a man who can enhance our lives on every level, including financially. So I did this list, a small list of how we communicate today. So right now, people do a lot of texting. So people communicate by text messages, email, and telephone calls. Well, romantically, email is not a good option because you have to go there and read through and be searching for something. So people romantically usually don't use that as a mode of communication with someone they're interested in because they want the response to be more immediate than an email. So they text. And I've made some lists under text messages and some notes under telephone calls. So starting with text messages, it's easy. No effort. You can copy and paste to multiple people pretty much at once, as long as you don't use anyone's name in the text messaging. Telephone calls require a little or a lot more effort. You have to think about the time that you call, what you're going to say, and things of that nature. So you give a little bit more thought to a telephone call. You have to be okay with silence. You have to be okay with a possible interruption from a child or another telephone call coming in. Text messages, you can just send it and be done. And if you're sending it to multiple people, then it's quicker, but it's low effort. So it's like low hanging fruit. Then under text messages, where men send those gifts, GIFs. I don't know how that's pronounced, but I call it gifts. And they say good morning, and they have these avatars that look like the person, or, it's blinking good morning, it's blinking I like you, all of that kind of stuff every day. So that's low effort too and easy to do. And this is my favorite text thing. Instead of saying, how are you? And you can just press, type in H, and HOW will appear, and you can just press on it and it automatically goes to the email. No, that's too much effort too. They have to really get it abbreviated. So now it's HR, and this is all letters, HRU. When I first saw that, I was like, OMG. He can't even press H and press how and let it come up automatically. How are you? He can't even press 3 things to get the whole word out. How are you? It's 3 letters. HRU, period. Not even a question mark at the end. How are you? Question mark. That's not even there. Punctuation is not there. It's just those 3 letters. I was like, oh my God. Oh, along with this YW, you're welcome. The other thing about conversations is that you have to remember what was said. You have to remember what the person said. So it requires some attention. So not only do you have to think about what you're going to say and think about all the logistics, is this a good time to call them? Are they not going to, will there be some interruptions? Will there be silence and make it uncomfortable for both of us? When is a good time to ask for the date? So you have to remember what was said, what he said, what she said, and then, kind of weave it back in the next time you call. And this is another thing. With text messaging, it's so much easier to create a fake bond. It's a fakeness about it because it happens every day around the same time the guy is sending the text message. So it's like, good morning, honey, love, lovely, beautiful, all those terms of endearment that mean absolutely nothing because you don't even know the dude. But it's easy to establish, I'm looking at my notes, it's easy to establish a fake bond by the consistency of the text messages, by the consistency of the gifts. And you're like, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's so cute. Da, 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 da. Stop. It's a fake bond. It means absolutely nothing. You don't know the person. And when they say honey, darling, baby, all of that crap, that means nothing either because you've only known them for 3 weeks. So now he's a baby or your baby or honey or a darling or lovely or beautiful. Every woman they meet that a man is attracted to is pretty much beautiful if he's putting even the minimum amount of effort. Because what is between her legs is very beautiful to him. It's very beautiful to him. So yes, we're all beautiful because we all have that. All women have that. So with a telephone call, you really have to put forth an effort to create a real bond. It's still just talking, but in the talking, you get to know more about the person. You get to do a little bit of cross-checking and fact-checking. So we will ask, the same question in 3 or 4 different ways through the conversation. So one week you might ask, I don't know, what do you do for a living? And he's like, oh, I am in IT. Okay. And you say, so that's a general, very broad industry. And then the next 2 days later, you say, oh yeah, you mentioned you were in IT. Like what part of IT? Because that's very broad. Do you do, customer service with IT, or are you a software developer with IT? But what I tend to find is that masculine energy men who are proud of their jobs will tell you what they do. All you have to do is say something like, or ask something like, oh, what field are you in? And they're like, oh, I'm in IT, I'm a software developer. And they just go on and on and on, because male energy men, masculine energy men, most men, masculine energy men, they're proud of what they do or their career or how far they've come in their life as far as their career is concerned. And they just want to talk about it and share. So yeah, those are my takes on text messaging versus telephone calls. I'm being highly pursued by one gentleman. I call him Candidate 2. And he reminds me that when a man wants a woman, he will pursue her like we know and how we were pursued when we were younger. So ladies, do not feel bad. Do not feel like there are no men who are willing to do that. They exist. But this type of pursuit is not for every man, because every man is not for you and you are not for every man. I know that's true for me. But the man that I am for, and who really feels like I am the prize, he will go hard, old school, calling, asking for dates, treating you like the queen that you are. So take heed, do not give up, and work on your mindset, work on being more feminine in energy, as well as appearance. So I'm working on that myself, buying more dresses and making them more frilly-like. So I'm working on that part because I really don't like flowers that much. But I do love color, and I like for my clothes to be fitted rather than kind of loose and flowy like. And but I know my style, so I'm gonna do more videos on that too. So anyway, just know that there are men out there who will pursue you in the old-fashioned way by calling and making dates and calling on a regular basis to check in with you, to see how you're doing. They do text, but occasionally, not as much. And then you can just, and if you're not really a texter like myself, I just tell them, you know, when they say, well, I text you, I say, oh, I don't look at my text messages that much. And another thing, just remember, another thing, men who call and hang up, men who say they're interested, but they don't leave a message, and then they expect you to go through your, missed calls and see that they called and want to call them back. I don't even bother with those guys. It's like, leave a damn message, okay? Just leave a damn message. And then to get them, because there are women who do that, they don't have to leave a message and they'll scroll through and then call them back. I see that you called. I don't do that. And so they've been trained to do that. So I have to untrain them and train them in the way that I want them to communicate with me, which is when I say, oh, you have such a nice voice. I love hearing your messages. So leave one. It brings a smile to my face when I listen to it. It never fails. They leave messages from that point on. Just a little tip. Thank you for watching the Hypergamous Journey. Please like, share, subscribe, click on the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. And don't forget to go to Amazon and look at the statement journals. Yay! Bye.